Okay guys, so there's a creek. We're just coming up the hill here. I know it's windy, but anyway, what we've got is over there is a cattail area, kind of a set-aside area, which you know, that's where them coyotes might be. They're going to be running to get their mice and whatnot, and they're going to be running the outside of this creek. There's another thicket over there, so good location. Okay, so what we've got here is we're gonna make a walkthrough set. Walkthrough sets are great late season sets once it gets real wet and muddy, because you don't have a deep trap bed like a step down set or a big deep dirt hole. So they stay dry, they work in a lot of more inclement weather. What we got here is this hump of dirt was natural. There's a natural trail right there. There's some old coon tracks, some canines, there's just a little bit of everything there. So what I've done is I've taken that stick there and I've placed it right there. There's about a 1.5 foot gap there. What we're going to do is we're going to bed a trap right there. Then we're going to take our dirt hole punch. Like I said, limited on tools I'm carrying in, but I did carry in my light, aluminum dirt hole punch. We're going to punch a hole there, and we're going to punch a hole there. We're going to give him a walkthrough with 2 cents. Even if he comes right through it and doesn't stop for the cents, it's still a good blind set. Now you can see this area right here, I picked it because it's a higher area than this ground over here and this ground over here. Still higher up. That's not bad because it flattens out for about 2 foot, so you're still going to get your trap bedded down, but it's higher up, so water's still going to drain out. So I'm going to get the trap bedded in the ground, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay guys, so as mentioned, I like using the cookie cutters, especially when I'm bedding in peat moss, but like I said, I'm walking in today, so I don't want to add the weight of my big cookie cutter. My coyote traps, this is number 4 here. I like the biggest trap you can legally have, big kill area, especially in these blind set kind of walk through areas. But so that cookie cutter's too heavy, so you're just digging a normal trap bed. Now I want you to see this trap bed. See how it's shaped like a bowl, like a cereal bowl? That's what you want whenever you're bedding in peat moss. It's not so critical if you're bedding in dry dirt, but whenever you're bedding peat moss, that's what you want. Now watch that trap. There's that trap. Sets down in there. Sets down in there real nice. See how solid that trap is? Just setting it down in there. Doesn't even move. Because it's hitting on 4 points. It's hitting on this lever, these levers, and that right there. You don't have all that wobble. See, that trap won't even wobble. He can step right there, he can step right there, he can step right there. Because you're just gonna cover this with peat moss, okay? You're not gonna really be able to pack the dirt in like you would normally. So, cereal bowl trap beds. Whenever you're bedding with peat moss, we're gonna cover that up with peat moss. I don't use pan covers whenever I bed with peat moss. I do whenever I don't use peat moss. But whenever I use peat moss settles too much, and it'll deform if you use a pan cover. So just fill it full of peat moss. That peat moss is spongy enough that pan will still go off. Good pan tension in trap bedding. Bedding that trap, I think, is what people have more problems than anything on, especially in wet conditions. So we'll bed that trap, we'll dig our holes in, and we'll show it to you. Okay, so there's the finished set. We got our hole there, our hole there. Took just a little bit of dry dirt. We're up on top of this hill, it's real windy. Don't want that peat moss to blow off. So just threw a little bit of dry dirt on top of that peat moss just to hold it down. See, the set looks real natural. It's right in the trail there. Kyle's gonna come up, he's gonna look, he's gonna get caught. So like I said, that set looks natural. It's high up off the ground, it'll take a lot of water, that set will. Like I said, there's no edges to that set. I think a lot of people get tied up on making their sets just look pristine, and nothing looks pristine out in nature, out in the wild. I mean, there's no edges to anything. So I mean, everybody gets tied up on, oh, you gotta have a little divot right there, in your pan, No, you just gotta have it look natural. You gotta have good baits to make it work it. So anyway, it's a good set there. We'll move on. Alright, so here's another location that just kind of set in stone, what I'm talking about, letting them, setting on sign. Okay, we've got this creek coming around the bend here, you can see. It goes up there and gets real narrow and then cuts across. Up through it, okay. Now, if I just come in here blind, I would think I need to set that point right up there by that rock. That's where the coons would be. That's where the water's shallow. It's where they dig in, you know. That's where I'd set, you know. There's a little pool there for them to wash their food off. That's a good place. But if you look for the sign, where's it at? It's right here. See all the coon sign? All through there. What they're doing is they're coming across the creek right here. They're walking down along the bank, similar to that fashion, and then going back up in the creek there. They're not even over there. There's not one track. I walked over there and looked. Now, especially with these late season coons like this, they're not going to walk at 20 feet to your bait. They're on the move. They're going from den tree to den tree. Got to get in front of them. So like I said, I waited one more day to make sure I knew where good set locations were. Sure enough, now I can put 2 traps right here and right there and have a better chance at a double than if I'd have a trap way over there 20 feet away with not a track in sight. So just something to think about whenever you're out on your line, especially in late season. You know, I've said it to a lot of younger people, and I'll say it again: set the trap where the animal is, not where you think the animal should be. You know, because I would think the animals would be over there. As it turns out, no, they're right there. So just something to think about. Okay, guys. So you know, this is what you're looking for. Hope you can see all that. That is one night. That is why I let them set one night. They moved last night, but now I know exactly where to set. So, you know, I didn't lose anything, in my opinion. Some will say, you know, yeah, you did. You know, in my opinion, no, I didn't lose anything. Now I know exactly where to set. There's a great location right here. It's in this creek here up on this bar. It's still melting, so it's still running pretty good. We're going to put a dog proof, and we're going to put a PVC set. So we're going to give them a choice, whether they want to eat it or smell it. So we'll get them made and show them to you. Alright, so there's the dog proof. There's the PVC set. They're about 5 feet apart. Took me about 3 minutes. Set on location. It's a good set. Alright, we'll move down. Okay, so here's a great example of a good blind set for the coons there. You can see they've got a real nice beaten trail coming right through there. And it was a good beaten trail, tracks going both ways, so better to trap right there and peat. And just 2 little humps, just real subtle. We're on this sandbar anyway, and it's kind of uneven. Just 2 little subtle humps just to kind of guide them up through. Traps stay right in the trail anyway, so shouldn't be anything standing out. You know, I think these little mounds of dirt do a lot better than just sticks sticking up in a row like fence. You know, a lot of people like to do that, but just a little subtleness, you know, just to keep them going right where they're naturally going. Good blind set. We'll see if it catches coon. Alright guys, there's a good example of how you make a dirt hole type set in the mud. I'm giving you a side view because it's real windy, but as you can see, it doesn't look like the traditional set. It's gonna get windy, but I'll come around and give you the front side look. You know, that doesn't look like the traditional set, but that looks like what a dog would dig. You know, there's stuff everywhere, and you know, it's out here in the open. That's just a good looking natural set. So you know, we'll take that and we'll see what that produces. So we're gonna make a canine set for you here. We got right here, we're right on this point coming off, and just the kind of a grassy point going out into the field, and this little spray of grass here is the biggest thing right out here on this point. So we're gonna make a little mouse hole set with it, and we're not gonna have any exposed dirt. We're gonna blend the trap in real nice and easy and make it look real natural. So we'll get started here. Okay, so we got our tools here. We got a brick cookie cutter. We're gonna go back a little ways. I'm not big on distances, so I'm not even gonna give you guys a distance. To me, it doesn't really matter. You just gotta keep working. We're gonna dig our trap bed. I'll show that to you in a minute. Okay, so there's our trap in its bed. See how nice that trap bed in there. You know, don't move this way or that way or anything. So we'll get it all bedded in, and then we're gonna punch a hole right in there, put our bait, and that's gonna be our set. So I'll show you the finished set here. Okay, so here's the finished set right there. You know, nothing special. Looks real natural. You know, it doesn't take a lot of backing for coyotes. You know, you spook them off with a bunch of guide sticks and backing and whatnot. You know, that's enough. Just to get them facing forward. You know, you put your hole on an angle, trap's bedded in. It's a good set. All right.